Good morning and welcome to Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. Can you believe that it was 1 year ago today that we were breaking ground right where we are sitting right now? It's pretty amazing, isn't it? And here we are in this beautiful space. I'm joined today by Reverend Arvid Straube, who's no stranger to us. He's our guest speaker. Steve Morihiro and Susan Shaw, our co-directors of Music Ministries, and Danielle Lewis, our Director of Religious Education for Children and Youth. Reverend Sean Wilshire, our minister, joins us in welcoming you in this video.
Good morning, everyone, and Reverend Arvid, thank you for being here today. Now, I know that Reverend Arvid is a favorite of many of you, and I know why, because he's totally awesome. Now, some of you may not know that Reverend Arvid is my spiritual director and has been now for over 10 years. And during that time, he's seen me go through both personally and professionally a lot. And he's always been there cheering me on. And he's always been so impressed with what we've done together, including building this new sanctuary. Well, today, now you get to be impressed with his sense of humor, his love for our country, and his loving presence. And Arvid gets to be impressed with our new space. Isn't it great? All right, have a wonderful laughter-filled service, and I will see you next week at our open house celebration. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, Reverend Sean. We always look forward to having Reverend Arvid here with us. And for those of you who are new and might not know as much about him as some of the rest of us do, Reverend Dr. Arvid Straube is a graduate of the University of Chicago Divinity School and Meadville Lombard, which is near and dear to Karen Stoyanov, our emeritus minister's heart, and others. He has been helping people grow spiritually for more than 35 years as a Unitarian Universalist parish minister at Eno River UU Fellowship in Durham, North Carolina, and then at First Church UU Church in San Diego, and that's where Phyllis, our Phyllis Kaplan, was a member. I think she's on Zoom this morning. Since retirement, he has devoted himself to teaching and to a ministry of spiritual direction, including serving as lead spiritual director at the annual Spirit Rest Retreat in Palos Verdes, which Marilyn Giss and I had the opportunity to attend several years ago. Welcome back, Reverend Arvid. It's an honor to have you here as our very first guest speaker in our brand new sanctuary. And a special welcome to our visitors. If you're seeking a spiritual home, we hope that you'll find it here among friends, music, learning, and love. We hope you'll join us as we step into a new chapter of our congregation as we grow in spirit and share our gifts. We are a community of many identities and beliefs. We are bound together not by dogmas or creeds, but rather a covenant to create a welcoming and loving community. We need not think alike to love alike, and this new sanctuary was built for just that kind of love. In the spirit of celebration and gratitude, let's recognize the many volunteers who have helped create this service this morning. Thank you so much for your time and talents. Roomers, we invite you to silence your cell phones if you haven't already done so, and Zoomers, we invite you to say hello in the chat. As we rejoice in this new space, we also honor the history beneath us, that of the sacred ancestral homelands of the Hachiman and Tongva peoples who continue to seek justice and responsible stewardship. May our life here honor that history and commit us to the same goals. We begin our worship with the lighting of our chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, and the light we share with one another. This morning, I would like to ask Judith Stamper, who has been a member since 1969. 96, excuse me. A little twisting of the numbers there. But still, that's a long time, right? And she's held just about every position there is in leadership in the church throughout all those years, and we really appreciate your presence. As Judith lights our chalice, let us say our unison affirmation together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. To dwell together in peace, and to seek truth and love, and to help one another, this we affirm together. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing in our opening song.
Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, God of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, hail thee as the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the pain of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the joy of day. All thy works with joy surround thee, earth and heaven reflect thy rays. Stars and planets sing around thee, center of unbroken praise. Field and forest, vale and mountain, blossoming meadow, flashing sea, chanting bird and flowing fountain, call us to rejoice in thee. Thou art giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed, wellspring of the joy of living, abundant depth of happy rest. Ever singing, march we onward, victors in the midst of strife. Joyful music lift us onward in the triumph song of life.
I can't tell you how impressed I am with you guys. I always have been. But this is absolutely incredible, absolutely wonderful. And I'm so honored to be the first guest speaker from this space. Having been part of other capital projects, including a new sanctuary in the past, I can confidently predict that you are about to hit a peak in your congregational life in terms of spirit, participation, membership, and mainly the ability to meet the needs, the deep needs of the souls who are here and the souls who will come, who need this place in these times. So good for you. The reading today comes from Reverend Gretchen Haley. Today, God is running late, trying to find their seat, scanning the room for someone they know or someone they don't. God's feeling evangelical, but not in a judgy way. Mysterious, but not manipulative. God can't stop thinking about the James Webb Telescope and the possibility that time is not linear, which God might have guessed from the never-ending urgency of some upcoming election and the likelihood that sometime next week, Halloween candy will show up in the grocery store. God is tired. Tired of grief and white supremacy and the warming of the oceans. Not to mention they usually come to the later service and it's hot. Why hasn't the climate-friendly air conditioning been installed yet, God wonders. And of course, we're all like, no kidding, God, Can't you do something about that? But God's hearing aid batteries ran out, and they haven't had time to order more. Or that's what they say when asked and can't hear the question. But really, that last emergency room visit maxed their credit cards, and their partner's been working DoorDash for some extra cash. But it's not enough. And really, God just wants to be present. Stop worrying about everything. Sing, breathe, laugh. We got you, God, we say. We'll settle in, and we'll be present, and we'll sing, and we'll tell stories and breathe deep. We'll remember ourselves and offer whole galaxies of gratitude for this beauty, still blooming salvia and full apple trees, zucchini bread, and the U.S. women's soccer team, for protest letters, and entire villages of people saying, "You are safe here, God. Your creation is not yet done, creating you."
Please don't be offended if I preach to you a while. Tears are out of place in eyes that were meant to smile. There's a way to make your very biggest trouble small. Here's the happy secret to it all. Look for that silver lining whenever cloud appears in the blue. Remember, somewhere the sun is shining, and so the right thing to do is make it shine for you. A heart full of joy and gladness will always banish sadness and strife. So always look for that silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life. As I wash my dishes, I'll be following your plan, till I see the brightness in every pot and pan. I am sure your point of view will ease the daily grind, so I'll keep repeating in my mind. Look for that silver lining whenever a cloud appears in the blue. Remember, somewhere the sun is shining, and so the right thing to do is make it shine for you. A heart full of joy and gladness will always banish sadness and strife. So always look for that silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life.
Our Time for All Ages story is called Silly is Good. Silly is good. Laughing is fun. Touch your nose with the tip of your tongue. Silly is chasing. Play with a ball. Pretend you're a train on the tracks in a hall. Silly whispers, giggling, it's great. Wiggle your toes and swing on a gate. Silly is twirling, dancing with a friend, going in circles, then round and round again. Silly is you, sassy and spoofy. Silly is me when I act goofy. Silly is my faces made in a mirror, and making weird sounds for sister to hear. Silly is building towers with blocks. Silly is knocking them down with your socks. Silly is ketchup poured on pancakes, mustard on apples, and sugar on steaks. Silly is touching your head to your knees, blowing big bubbles and chasing a breeze. Silly is drawing, painting with a friend, making turtles fly. It's so fun to pretend. Silly is upside down on a tree. Silly is happy, the best way to be. So chase the rainbows, color with gold. Keep being silly and never grow old. The end. You just join us as we sing our children out.
Reading is called Anger as an Anti-Authoritarian Weapon. That's a misquote. Humor as an Anti-Authoritarian Weapon. Okay. It's by Benjamin Wittes, and he wants to offer 10 thoughts in support of humor as a key strategic element in the fight against authoritarianism. Number 1, if we don't laugh, we cry. Number 2, humor can break through to people who don't share our premises in a fashion that argument and anger often cannot. 3, authoritarians hate being mocked. They want to make you angry. They want to make you scared. Laughing at them and getting others to laugh at them disrupts their control of the field of play. It seizes control. Humor is brave. It shows fearlessness. Anger shows that they've gotten to you. Humor shows they have not. There is no quicker way to break down fear than laughter. Humor is thus the ultimate expression of stoic self-control. To tell a joke on the gallows is the final. Here we go. This is just, I planned that. That's comedy there. All right. To tell a joke on the gallows is a final bleep you to authority. Groucho Marx used to tell a joke in which a condemned man is taken out on the gallows and asked if he has any last words. He responds, "Yeah, I don't think this thing is safe." Humor emboldens others. Emboldening others is important when people are scared. He has a projection, and he sometimes projects a giant hand-drawn smiley face on the Russian embassy with the words, "I'm back," to begin his sessions. A protest, even of the foulest, darkest deeds that isn't funny, is missing an opportunity. Humor is memorable. Anger is easily forgotten. Everyone is angry all the time. Anger blends right in and gets lost. Humor stands out and sticks with people. Humor induces foolish reactions in the enemy, and enemy mistakes are exploitable. Put a flag on the Russian embassy and some idiot might chasing around the building with a spotlight. That's a projection, right? That's a video that goes viral. And finally, humor is fun, and we all need to have fun. especially now. So usually we get all quiet for meditation, go deep and profound and all that. That's not what we're doing today. So today I would like to lead you in a laughing meditation. So if you've done laughing yoga, have any of you done that? Yeah. If you've done that, it's kind of fake laughing, but this is a different way of doing it. You're encouraged to laugh, but you don't have to do any fake laughing. So what this does is, I'm going to demonstrate, gets you the same physiological reaction as laughing so hard that you can't get your breath. And that gives you about 45 minutes of beautiful stuff going on in your brain, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate this. First, the thing that you do, and then I'm going to ask you to join if you feel like it. First thing to do is you empty all the breath out of your lungs, and then you do what I call 3 fake chuckles, okay? And then we keep doing that. And you'll probably laugh because it sounds like a strangled cat. So it's just funny, okay? But here, I'll do it a couple times, and then you can join me. I'm getting away from the microphone, so. Are you ready? Yes. All right, ready? Just notice how your mind and body feel right now. Feels good.
Please join us as we sing our journey song.
As we sing of Job and joy today, some know the anguish and despair. How can we lift our voices in this way, while some have pain and misery to spare? If a crumbling world we would renew, we must sing no ordinary song. Peals from a noisy gong will never do. In every breath compassion must belong. Let this song our greatest hopes contain, laughter of a well-fed child, its tune roofs over every heart beating
My grandfather spent 4 months in prison for telling a joke. He was a native of the Baltic country of Latvia, which was under the reign of the Tsar until the Russian Revolution came. And through a long series of events, the family ended up in the Siberian city of Omsk after the revolution. This was 1919. He met a fellow Latvian on the streetcar, and they started to talk in their native language, thinking thousands of miles away from their homeland that nobody would understand them. So my grandfather told the guy a joke about Lenin. Someone on that streetcar knew Latvian and denounced him, and he spent 4 months in jail and was finally released when the family obtained an exit visa to the newly independent country of Latvia. Humor, satire, and mockery have always been a deliberate strategy for resisting authoritarian regimes. There's even a term for it. It's called laughtivism. The novelist George Orwell said that every joke is a tiny revolution. According to the New York Times columnist Nicholas Kristof, authoritarians are pompous creatures with monstrous egos and so tend to be particularly vulnerable to humor. Humor puts autocrats in a difficult position. They look ridiculous if they crack down on jokes, but look weak if they ignore them. What's a dictator to do? So a good example of this is during Soviet reign in the Soviet Union, a joke that was very popular but whispered only when it was safe. This is about a man who day after day came to a newsstand, looked at the headlines, and walked away. Finally, the newsstand proprietor said, "Don't you want to buy a paper?" And he said, "No, I just want to see the obituaries." And the man said, "Well, you have to buy a paper because the obituaries are in the back of the newspaper." And he said, "Not the one I'm looking for." During a sabbatical, I attended a worship at one of San Diego's largest and most influential congregations. It's called The Rock. The pastor is a former San Diego Chargers player, Miles McPherson. This church has dozens of services at 6 different locations. I attended this service at the main location, and it was one of 5 services at that location. There are tens of thousands of people who attend these services every Sunday at these different services and different locations. And I have to say, it was a very well done service, and he was an engaging speaker, lots of humor. But I knew he was an evangelical. It wasn't the white supremacist evangelicalism that we are so afraid of today. Reverend McPherson's African American. The congregation is very diverse. After the service, I went to, they didn't have free coffee. We have free coffee, and they didn't. So you could buy coffee at the bookstore. There's a pretty big bookstore where there was a barista who would make you a latte or whatever you ordered while you browsed. This bookstore, of course, it featured books that reflected that evangelical point of view. And I found a book on cults. I picked it up and I looked toward the back. Guess what? We are listed as a cult. And obviously the author of the book is anyone who is not, any group that's not evangelical Christian is a cult. So, but cults have been studied, and those people who study cults say that there's no way we could be a cult, really, because cults almost always feature a charismatic leader who is never questioned. Not us. That's not us. And they tend to be humorless, unless they're making sarcastic fun at everyone else. You see, we're not a cult because we always love to laugh at ourselves. In the last decade or so, I've started to get concerned that we're getting a little bit humorless sometimes. You know, there's a lot of important issues that we as a denomination are needing to face, and we need to do that with respectful dialogue and even debate. Unfortunately, we've gotten a little scoldy. We've gotten a little, like a bit of a purity culture going on, telling people, you know, you can't use these words, or shaming people for their views instead of just listening and try to understand those views. We can't let those issues go. We have to deal with them, but we need to do it with tolerance and respect, and not the shaming of people who disagree. So let's go back to the ability to laugh at ourselves. A lot of our humor has to do with our differences with other religious groups, but instead of mocking them, we mock us. So for instance, what do you get if you cross a UU with a Jehovah's Witness? Someone who will knock on your door for no apparent reason. What do you get if you cross a Unitarian Universalist with a polygamous Mormon? A very long hyphenated name. How many Unitarian Universalists does it take to change a light bulb? Answer: we choose not to make a statement either in favor of or against the need for a light bulb. However, if in your own journey you have found that light bulbs work for you, that is wonderful. You are invited to write a poem or compose a modern dance about your personal relationship with your light bulb. Present it next month at our annual Light Bulb Sunday service, in which we'll explore a number of light bulb traditions, including incandescent, fluorescent, three-way, long life, and tinted, all of which are equally valid paths to luminescence. A Unitarian Universalist dies and is walking a path to the afterlife, and he sees two signs. One pointing to the left says, "To heaven." The one to the right says, "To a discussion about heaven." He takes the right path. You know you're a Unitarian Universalist if you've ever gotten into an argument about whether breast milk is vegan. Some people took that joke very seriously. So, you know you're a Unitarian Universalist if you get emails from committees that you didn't know you were on. You know you're a Unitarian Universalist if you'd explain the pagan significance of everybody's Halloween costume. A woman walks into a fabric store and tells the clerk, "I need 10 yards of flannel." And the clerk says, 10 yards of flannel? What do you need 10 yards of flannel for? She says, "I'm going to make a nightgown." The clerk said, 10 yards of flannel for a nightgown? She said, "Yes, my husband is a Unitarian Universalist, and for him, the search is everything." A Unitarian Universalist church school teacher asked a little girl what she was drawing. She said, "I'm drawing a picture of God." The religious education director said, "Nobody knows what God looks like." She said, They will in a minute. A couple was driving home from church, and the husband and wife were complaining about the quality of the service. Everything is really shabby. Nobody's taking care of the building. The music was off key. We need to get a different accompanist. The sermon was the same old, same old. It went too long. It was boring. And the little girl in the back said, "What do you expect for $1?" The little boy was looking at a plaque on the church grounds with a lot of names on it. He was looking concerned. And the minister said, "Johnny, why are you looking so concerned?" Johnny said, "Who are all these names?" He said, "Oh, Johnny, those are the people who died in the service." And Johnny said, "Which service, 9:30 or 11?" In the book of Proverbs, it says, "A merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones." Here's my serious message for you today. Don't let the bullies, the greed merchants, the thieves, the frauds, and the fascists in high places win by robbing you of the joy that is your birthright. Laughter is resistance. Joy is resistance. Friendship is resistance. Community is resistance. Faith communities are resistance. If through doom scrolling you're feeling hopeless and despair, stop. Don't let them win. That is letting them win. As Holly Near sings, if we feel despair, and the lyric is, "I would dishonor those who came before me." I will not dishonor those who made all those sacrifices for freedom, for human rights, for peace, who came before me. It's a privilege to try to stand in their tradition. I won't let them win by robbing me of joy and laughter and friendship. People who love us are all around us. We're surrounded by a beautiful world of nature. We have this faith community. And if we pay attention, there are countless reasons for joy. The Unitarian author Kurt Vonnegut said, "Laughter and tears are both responses to frustration and exhaustion. I myself prefer to laugh since there's less cleaning up to do afterwards."
Please rise in body or spirit for our next hymn.
We laugh, we cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's something here to which we can belong. We need to feel the freedom just to have some time alone. But most of all, we need close friends we can call our very own. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a need to be together. We have our hearts to give. We have our thoughts to receive. And we believe we believe in life and in the strength of love, and we have found a place to be together. We have the right to grow. We have the gift to believe that Jesus our living is an answer. We seek elusive answers to the questions of this life. We seek to put an end to all the waste of human strife. We search for truth, equality, and blessed peace of mind. And then we come together here to make sense of what we find. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a joy being together. And in our search for peace, maybe we'll finally see, even to question truly is an answer.
Well, Ralph Haller has some new jokes to add to his repertoire. He's sitting right here in front. Were you writing them down? No. He's our king of jokes right here in the front. Unitarian Universalist congregations are fully self-supporting, meaning that members and friends raise all funds for the operating budget, ministries, and programs of the church. We are ever grateful for your gifts of time, treasure, and talent. We amplify that spirit of generosity by sharing half of the plate with an organization that shares our values. And this month, the nonprofit is Share Ourselves. There are multiple ways in which you can support the church and Share Ourselves, a healthcare organization that provides comprehensive health and support services from locations just across the street from us on Adams and at other sites throughout Orange County. Earlier this month, they distributed over 1,000 backpacks to local students as one of their outreach projects, and that is supported by the financial support we give them. You can mail a check, you can go through our website, or use an app called Vanco Mobile. If you're a roomer, you can also simply use a basket as it's passed by our ushers. The choice is yours. All the information is on our website should you need it. And as always, thank you for your generosity.
I am the very model of a modern Unitarian, far broader than a Catholic, Hindu, Jew, or Presbyterian. I know the world's religions and can trace their roots historical, from Moses up to Channing, all in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted too with theories theological. On existential questions I am always wholly logical. About most any problem I am teeming with a lot of views. I'm full of fine ideas that should fill our church's empty pews.
We're full of fine ideas that should fill our church's empty pews. We're full of fine ideas that should fill our church's empty pews. We're full of fine ideas that should fill our church's empty pews.
I quote from Freud and Jung and all the experts psychological. I'm anti-nuke, I don't pollute, I'm chastely ecological. In short, it matters spiritual, ethical, material. I am the very model of a modern Unitarian.
In short, it matters spiritual, ethical, material. We are the very model of a modern Unitarian.
I use the latest language, God is never Father or the Lord, but ground of being, source of life, or almost any other word. I never pray, I meditate, I'm leery about worshiping. I serve on 10 committees, none of which accomplish anything. I give to worthy causes and I drive a gas-conserving car. I have good UU principles, although I'm not sure what they are. I'm open to opinions of profound or broad variety, unless they're too conservative or smack of righteous piety.
Unless they're too conservative or smack of righteous piety. Unless they're too conservative or smack of righteous piety. Unless they're too conservative or smack of righteous piety.
I formulate agendas and discuss them with the best of them, but don't ask me to implement, we leave that to the rest of them. In short, it matters spiritual, ethical, material. I am the very model of today's religious liberal.
In short, it matters spiritual, ethical, material. We are the very model of today's religious liberal.
Please join in singing We Gather Together, a song that puts our intentions into words and expresses our gratitude for the many gifts we share.
Love and justice for everyone. We give from our hearts to show that we care. We can change lives with what we share.
That has so many views on YouTube. It's like broken records. I think UU churches all over the United States and I guess around the world have used it. Steve, you're a star. What can we say? Now is the time we honor the important events and people in our lives. We invite all of you to participate in this weekly ritual called Joys and Sorrows. I'd like to ask Lori Kluge to come up, one of our pastoral care team members, to assist. If you come here today holding something close to your heart, moments from the last day, week, or hour that have struck you at your core, we invite you to be a part of this weekly ritual. If you're a roomer and you'd like to honor a profound joy or sorrow, we invite you to light a candle here in the front. If you'd like to share your joy or sorrow in writing, raise your hand and our ushers will bring you a slip of paper and a pencil to write with. You can write down your joy or sorrow and hand it to me here at the podium and I'll read it out loud. If you're a Zoomer, you're invited to write your joy or sorrow in the chat, and we will light a candle for you as we read your joys and concerns out loud after all the candles have been lit. As the music is played, please come forward. So from our roomers here, Lori M. says she has a joy. She was up in Pacific Grove to celebrate her grandson's 7th birthday with him. I bet that was fun and very special. Sandy M. said today's flowers are in honor of Kay Preston's birthday, sponsored by her son, Craig Preston. How sweet. Sandy also says that yesterday was Sarah Hunter's birthday. So be sure she's going to be here next weekend, along with Karen Kennedy and some other friends from the past, and be sure and wish her happy birthday when you see her. And Steve's going to read the Zoomers.
Barbara S. shares, my family welcomed our newest great nibbling, Samuel James, this past Tuesday. And Craig P. has a joy to share. A thank you and a joy from Craig P. Thank you, Reverend Straube, for reminding me to laugh. A joy for flowers today in yellow to celebrate my mother Kay's birthday Monday and the laughter we have shared.
Hold in love all the joys and celebration, all the hurts and sadness, whether spoken or unspoken. Let our joys remind us to be thankful. Our concerns remind us to hope, and our sorrows remind us to connect. All these moments remind us that we are not alone. Now I'd like to ask Lori to lead us in prayer and meditation.
Go in peace. Live simply, gently, at home in yourselves. Act justly. Speak justly. Remember the depth of your own compassion. Forget not your power in the days of your powerlessness. Speak the truth or speak not. Crave peace for all people in the world, beginning with yourselves, and go as you go with the dream of that peace alive in your heart. Amen.
Thank you, Lori. Let us join together as we extinguish the flame of our chalice and say together, we extinguish our chalice. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you for joining us this morning, and if you're a guest, a visitor, or someone who hasn't yet been known to us, we invite you to become a part of this beloved community. If you'd like to know more about our church, we invite you to chat after the service, maybe with someone sitting by you or someone out in the courtyard. We also have the welcome table, or you can contact us online at hello. That's our weekly humor. Zoomers are welcome to stay after and chat with one another online. We want everyone to feel a part of this beloved community, so please reach out and we will help you get connected. Now, for the announcements. We have a little something going on next weekend, just a little something, right? Our big dedication is next Saturday at 2 p.m., and you procrastinators who haven't RSVP'd, you have until Tuesday. So, and this is from Reverend Sean, so, you know, she's reminding you through me. And then on Sunday, we're having an open house, and we're going to have Catherine Martin, our VP of Programs, is doing a lot of work on getting all of our different groups with tables to give information about how you can get involved. The choir's getting ready to start rehearsing again now that it's fall. And I've got a public service announcement from Avery. Are you a social butterfly or looking to get more involved at OCUC? We are searching for a personable volunteer to be a Zoom usher once a month. This is a job you can do from the comfort of your own home while still experiencing the service in real time. Zoom ushers are responsible for greeting the Zoomers online and letting the tech team know if there are any broadcasting issues. It's a really important role. No prior experience is necessary. We will teach you everything you need to know. So if you're interested, please see Avery or write in the chat on Zoom. There he is, waving his hands. How'd I do, Avery? Did I do you proud there? Written by Avery himself, so. Okay, Phil.
Benediction is from Isaiah 55. For you shall go out with joy and be led back in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall burst into song, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. And these words are in the Memorial Garden at First Unitarian Universalist Church.
This service is over. Let our service continue. Thank you, Arvid, for the great service today.